If you're looking for the best Raiders NFL free agency coverage on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, because next week it's going to be one of the craziest weeks I have ever done here on YouTube. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz, your host of the Raiders Report, and coming up on today's show, I'm going to combine safeties and cornerbacks into one video, and I'm going to discuss the top 10 DBs that the Las Vegas Raiders need to target once NFL free agency starts. So we're going to go through, look at our top 5 corners, then we're going to go through and look at our top 5 safeties. Why? We got a lot of money, and I expect this organization to be spending a lot of money, because when the new league year does kick off, when the legal tampering period kicks off, John Spytek, Klint Kubiak, and Tom Brady better be ready to get this thing rocking and rolling for Rob Leoanrds' new defense. So we're going to start with the corners. Coming in here at number 5, Rasul Douglas. I don't know if Douglas wants to be a member of the Raiders based on the treatment that they gave him back in 2021, I believe was the season, where the Raiders cut him before the season started, and then he ended up having a Pro Bowl season. I was told back then that Douglas was rubbed the wrong way by this Raiders organization. Now, it's 2026. New year, new regime, new coaching staff, lots and lots of new. But at 6'2", 209 pounds, he's coming off of a better season, a bounce-back season, if you will, after a down 2024 season, where he was the 20th best corner according to PFF with a 73.5 overall grade. He's also consistent. Missed only 5 games in the past 4 seasons, and a PFF projected contract at 1 year, $6.5 million. I think it's a good deal for a player along the lines of Douglas, because Darian Porter, long, lanky, athletic. You put him next to Rasul, it's kind of an interesting yin and a yang based on the way that those players play. But he had 2 interceptions last season, 13 pass breakups. He was tested aplenty in Miami. And then in 2023 in Green Bay and Buffalo, again, a player that was tested plenty. I need somebody that I can rely on. I need somebody that's a safe signing, and I think Rasul Douglas is exactly that. Let's go to number 4 here. It's going to be Jaylen Watson, and some people might be surprised that I have Watson ranked so low, but the reason why I do these rankings is based on fit, based on player, based on need and price tag, because we have so many holes that need to be filled, giggity, and because of that, we need to make sure that we're spending our money in the right areas. Now, don't get me wrong, Jaylen Watson is an outstanding player, but I also am such a big believer in Steve Spagnuolo, and I think what Steve does such a good job is he's a miracle worker with corners. Like, think about how many times we've seen a corner on the Chiefs go elsewhere, and then they're not nearly as good. Steve Spagnuolo is a magician with cornerbacks, but he has gotten better and better each season. Career high 867 snaps, and he is outstanding, and I mean outstanding against the run. He's good against the pass. But 3 years, $45 million, $15 million per year, you get to steal somebody away from Kansas City. I like it a lot. But the reason why I'm at number 4 is because I've seen Kansas City do this with so many cornerbacks. I mean, shit, they just traded away Trent McDuffie to the Rams. Trent McDuffie's a hell of a player, but I don't think people realize what Steve Spagnuolo is and what he does for cornerbacks, and I am just a little bit worried that it's going to be the same song and dance with Watson if he comes over here to the Las Vegas Raiders. Young player, definitely some upside, AFC West experience, but Jaylen Watson will come in at number 4 on my Raiders free agent targets at the cornerback position. So the next thing I'm going to hit y'all with here is going to be the pinned comment on today's program, which is the number 1 question that I want you to answer. And I'm going to give you my answer coming up here in just a little bit. So you're about to get in with a YouTube ad break. While that ad is playing, scroll on down and answer this question for me. If the Raiders can sign only one cornerback, who would it be and why? My answer here in just a moment. Now, obviously, the guy that I have number 1 is my top corner. But I want to be clear. The next 3 corners that I talk about are the top 3 corners that I want the Raiders to target. And you can kind of tier them out as not so expensive to it's going to get a little bit pricier. And that's just the way that it goes. Like, do I think Eric Stokes is a better player than Jaylen Watson? No. But do I think Eric Stokes can fit with this team? Yes. So Stokes is a free agent. And when you also consider the cornerback position, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, Darnay Holmes, he's going to be a free agent. Kai Blue Kelly, somebody that really had to, get a lot of reps for us last season. He's injured, and he's going to be a free agent. Not going to bring him back after that wicked patella injury. So number 3 is going to be a familiar face. and it's going to be Eric Stokes. I know that Las Vegas is interested in Eric. I know that Eric is interested in rejoining the Silver and Black. And he had an outstanding season at 27 years old, former first-round pick from Georgia, somebody who's battled tons and tons and tons of injuries, but really was able to thug it out this season and has done a good job staying healthy in back-to-back seasons. So I want to be clear. I'm somebody that loves a good deal. And if you like a good deal, look at Eric Stokes, because I believe out of every single corner on the open market, he's your best bang for your buck free agent corner. So, like, if you're the Raiders, let's say, and you want to spend more money at wide receiver, you want to spend more money on edge, you want to spend more money at linebacker, you do that with the mindset that, hey, I'm going to be able to bring back Eric Stokes. If I'm being real, I would like for you to just re-sign him. Don't even let him hit the open market. If this is what it costs to get him, I don't know why the hell that deal's not already done, because I think people don't realize how good Stokes was last season. And I get it, the Raiders were a horrible franchise. They were a horrible football team. But this is a guy who played really good football on a 3-14 team when the Raiders didn't generate really any pressure at all. 3 tackles for loss, the 5 PBUs. Teams really didn't target Stokes. They targeted the outside, the other corners. So Stokes is a good, cheaper, best bang for your option because the Raiders have so many holes. Let's go to number 2 here on my list, and it's going to be Jamel Dean. If I could turn injuries off, Jamel Dean would be number 1 on my list. Jamel Dean last season, 46 tackles, 9 PBUs, 3 interceptions, 6'1", 206 pounds. He's got the length, he's got long arms, and he's got the ability to really lock down one side of the football field. And quite frankly, I think Darian Porter would learn a lot from Jamel Dean. But again, the problem is he's never played in more than 15 games in a season. That's 7-year sample size. But when he's on the field, dude's locking down. 46.9 passer rating in 2025. The PFF projected contract, I like a lot. 2 years, $27 million, like $13.5 million. If Jamel Dean's healthy, that's an outstanding deal. But there is also a little bit of risk. But shit, man, we're in Las Vegas, so sometimes you got to roll the dice from time to time. But if you get him at 2 years, $27 million, you know, there is definitely some upside there. However, though, I'm about to show you the stats. 14 games played, 12 games played, 13 games played, 15 games played. When you're a team like the Raiders and you have the amount of holes that this organization does, not only on the defensive side of the football, but also on the offensive side, if you're going to go out and you're going to spend, you need to make sure the players that you're spending on are reliable. Don't get me wrong, I get it. It's the NFL. Injuries are going to happen, but let's also face the facts. There are certain players that get injured more than other players. Let's go to number 1, though. I recently called him the perfect free agent cornerback to put in a Rob Leoanrd defense, and his name is Riq Woolen. Dude just won a Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks, and I'll never forget what Klint Kubiak said at his opening press conference when he talked about his sit-down conversations before games with Mike Macdonald because he liked to pick his brain. I'll tell you this, I talked to Mike Macdonald at the NFL Combine, and he was really hopeful about Klint Kubiak and this defense. Go check it out. It's on the Raiders Report YouTube channel. But, like, if I'm Klint Kubiak and I'm going, Rob Leoanrd comes from the Mike Macdonald tree. Can I bring in a corner like Riq at 6'4", 210 pounds, who's an alien of an athlete, put him on the outside? I think the other thing that you could see him do is, because he's such a freak of an athlete, you could line him up at safety from time to time and just use him all over the football field, almost kind of the way like the Baltimore Ravens use Kyle Hamilton. Now, again, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. But he's missed only 4 games in 4 seasons, 26 years old. The upside is, without a doubt, sky high. And 3 years, $45 million, $15 million per year, that's a really, really good value for the type of player that Riq is going to be able to bring to the table, because I can remember when he was a rookie. He was one of my favorite prospects coming out of UTSA. The 6 interceptions jump off the page. But because he has been a consistent playmaker and because he's been a consistent force on a really good Seahawks defense with that Mike Macdonald connection, I think Klint Kubiak should be all in and trying to get him and Rob Leonard's defense. Coming up next here on the show, I said we're going to talk about DBs. We're going to talk about some free agent safety targets. Hell, I almost made this like center fielders, because with Jeremy Chin, with Isaiah Pola-Mao, we're good at the strong safety, box safety role. But what I need to be able to find is a free safety that shines a little bit, that might be a little bit flashy, that can go down and chase a ball. That's what I need. You know what else I need? I need a little bit of extra bling in my wardrobe here. Like, I don't know about y'all, when, like, during February, it's my birthday, it's Valentine's Day, it's my my date anniversary with my wife, Alex. We go out to eat, we get dressed up, and I think a lot of guys, you got the certain shoes, you got certain pants, you probably got something in your wardrobe, you're like, you know what? Date night, this is what I'm going to be wearing. Why I love the GLD chain is because here at the Raiders Report, I can rock my Raiders emblem. But also, when Alex and I go out and we grab dinner, I can take off the Raiders shield, and I can rock just I would say a simple, basic, awesome-looking GLD chain. And if you guys can read, if you use code CHAT, you're going to be able to get 50% off your order at GLD.com. If you want to look and feel your best, but you don't want to have to break your wallet, GLD is going to be able to help you up. Also, they got an official collab with the NBA, WNBA, MLB, NCAA, NHL, MLS, and even DC Comics out there. So work hard and change the game. For a limited time only, new customers are getting an insane deal. Use code CHAT to get 50% off at GLD.com. That's 50% off with code CHAT at GLD.com. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. All I ask you is this. Tell them Mitchell Renz from the Raiders Report sent you. That way I can continue to hook you up with awesome, awesome deals from GLD. Look your best, feel your best, and I wear this chain all the time, so yeah, works for me. I think it's going to work for you. Let's go to our top here safety targets for the Las Vegas Raiders. And again, we're going to work away from 5 down to 1. Coming in here at number 5, it's going to be Coby Bryant, who just won a Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks. 26 years old, 6'1", 193 pounds. Last season for the Hawks, 64 tackles, 7 PBUs, 4 tackles for loss. If you're looking for another safety that can help the tackling, like, I think Coby Bryant is a better center fielder than Isaiah Paul-Lamau and a better center fielder than Jeremy Chin. Is he still the best center fielder option? No, but he's really great against the run, and he's good in coverage. Like, he would be an upgrade from a free safety standpoint. Because he was successful in Mike McDonald's defense, that makes me wonder, can he also be successful in a Rob Leoanrd 3-4 front? The PFF projected contract is 3 years, $30 million, and I think $10 million for a player that's 26 years old that just won a Super Bowl in Coby Bryant is something that I am very interested in. He's been a little bit inconsistent in how many games he's been able to play. Only 9 games played in 2023. He did play he played in 15 games in 2025. Only 17 in 2024. 2022 he was also able to play in all those games. But because Coby can do so many different things for you, 7 interceptions over the past 2 seasons, and has that familiarity with not Kubiak, but kind of with Kubiak since they were on the same team, I do think that that's very important. Let's go to number 4 here on my list, Kevin Byard. If Kevin Byard was like 3-4 years younger, he'd be number 1 on my list. And he's just the model of consistency. And what's crazy is I learned something new today, that Kevin Byard has never missed a game in his NFL career. That's insane, because the way that this guy flies all around the football field, it's surprising to me. He's not that big. He's a little bit short. He's a little bit more compact. 93 tackles, but he led the NFL last season with 7 interceptions. I mean, that's what a ball hawk's looking to do. But playing 10 years in the league and never missing a game, I mean, that's consistency. But 2 years, $18 million, $9 million a year, I think that's a really good value. Does it scare me a little bit that, again, he's getting up there in age? Sure. No doubt about it. Does he fit with this Raiders defense? Yes, I think he fits on just about any defense. Here's going to be the hard part of what I'm about to say. I think Kevin Byard, if he signs with the Raiders, is going to ask you to pay him a little bit more because he's 32, and I don't know if he's going to feel like the Raiders are a Super Bowl caliber team, where if I'm Kevin Byard, I would probably be more willing to sign with the team that I thought was in my Super Bowl winning window right now, because obviously his father time's undefeated. He's not going to be getting any younger. Kevin Byard's a hell of a player, no doubt about it. But the reason why he's ranked number 4 is because he's 32 years old. Let me know down below, if the Raiders can sign only one safety, who should it be? I feel kind of weird being 33, calling Kevin Byard old, because, it's just wild how when you do this show and you think about prospects and you think about players, but 32 years old should be old for what the Raiders are trying to accomplish from a rebuild. Let me know down below who you want that number 1 safety to be. I'll tell you who my number 1 safety is obviously here in just a little bit. When you look at this Raiders safety room, Jeremy Chin, strong safety. Isaiah Pola-Mao had a really bad year last season, but it's also because, they used him in the wrong way. Use him as a box, let him play up near the line of scrimmage, let him be an athlete. That's what Isaiah Pola-Mao is. He's not a free safety. But then, Lonnie Johnson Jr., McCullum, Terrell Edmonds. We got a lot of pieces that we need to be able to fill. So not going out and breaking the bank might be a good idea. Signing a free agent, also drafting a safety are two moves that I think that the Raiders should do. Let's go to Kamren Curl here. He's number 3 on my list. Played football last season for the Los Angeles Rams. And I love Sean McVay. The Raiders obviously do too. They brought in a bunch of people more on the offensive side of the football when they were looking for coaches. But Cam Curl at 6'2", 207 pounds, another guy at 26 years old, has worked underneath some really good defensive minds, some really good defensive coaches. 122 tackles for a safety. This is another player where, do I think Cam would be the best free safety on our team? Yes. Do I think Cam is probably better to be a strong safety in the NFL? Also, yes. But because he's played a little bit of free, because he's played strong safety, it gives you a little bit more of that versatility. And when you're switching from a 4-3 to a 3-4, I think just having that ability to be a little bit more versatile on defense is extremely important. And if you can get him at the $8.8 million per year, that's good value for a safety. He did allow only 1 touchdown last season, which I do think sometimes like safeties and touchdowns can be overblown. Like if you're not getting any pressure on a quarterback, your safeties are going to struggle. And the Raiders' safeties struggled in coverage because, we didn't do a very good job being able to get after the quarterback. But I also want consistency. And Cam Curl has been a consistent player. He's missed only 1 game over the past 3 seasons, or 2 games over the past 3 seasons. But, he's going to get you your tackles. He's a solid guy in terms of stopping the run. He's not afraid to come up, play near the box. He's also not afraid to drop back into coverage. Kamren Curl, number 3 on my list. I'm going to be cooking here on this one. Number 2, he's coming from Kansas City. It's Bryan Cook. And just like I mentioned earlier on this video, cornerback Steve Spagnuolo, it is also a little bit of my worry for safeties as well. But Cook at 26, 83 tackles last season, 6 PBUs, 1 tackle for loss. I love the AFC West experience, no doubt about it. And if you go through and you look at a lot of free agent rankings, there's probably going to be a lot of people that have Bryan Cook as the number 1 overall safety on the open market. The reason why he's not number 1 on my list is because I do wonder, was last year just a little bit of a shot in the pan? He has played in all 34 games the past 2 seasons. He was outstanding in coverage last season. Also, is really good against the run. You can make the argument, if you look at a number standpoint and advanced analytics numbers, he might have been one of the best safeties in all of football last year. Again, how much of that is Bryan Cook? How much is that is Steve Spagnuolo? But 3 years, $36 million is a more than a fair enough deal for a player of his age and for a player that's already shown you in back-to-back seasons that he can be a reliable option in the back end of a defense. So I like consistency. I like Bryan Cook. I've watched a lot of games on him against the Raiders. He's kind of beaten us up over the past few seasons. But the reason why he's not number 1, it's because of price tag. And it's also because I believe that there is a better center fielder out there, and his name is Jaylin Hawkins. He played last season with the New England Patriots. Tom Brady loves Mike Vrabel, and when you get to learn from great defensive minds, how can you carry that over to the following season? Hawkins, 28 years old, 6'1", 208 pounds. You want a free safety? He's the free safety of this market. I look at a lot of the free agents out there. The number 1 center fielder, the number 1 true free safety on the open market, I'll say is Jaylinn Hawkins, which is the number 1 reason why I want him. Last season, 501 coverage snaps. That's a lot of coverage snaps at free safety. 79.0 overall coverage grade. Hasn't missed more than 3 games in a season since 2021. And that 3 years, $33 million, sure, it's $11 million per year, but at 28 years old, you're going to get him at 28, 29, 30. That's a really good age for a safety because you need your guy on the back end, I think, to have some experience, at least for the Raiders, right? When you're changing up the amount of things that the Raiders are changing up, I want a guy that when he's back there, it's kind of like, a true center fielder in a baseball game. It's kind of almost like a catcher, if you will, in a baseball game. You need them to be able to see the field and understand the field because that's where assignments are going to go. The Raiders got burnt way too many times last season on the deep ball, and I'm hoping with Jaylinn Hawkins that wouldn't happen nearly as often. Last season, 4 interceptions, good numbers. I will admit, when you look at some of his other numbers throughout the years, they're not all great. By far a career year this past season with New England. but this guy's also changed a lot of organizations, right? Atlanta, Chargers, New England. That's 3 teams in essentially a 2-year window. We've seen how much players can struggle when they got to learn new regimes, new coaching staffs, new. What Jaylin Hawkins needs is he needs to be a center fielder, and pairing him with Isaiah Pola-Mao and Jeremy Chinn is a really good pairing for his style of skill set. Sorry. I thought I was about to sneeze on this show. You know what I won't sneeze at? The hats that we got provided here. You ever feel like you're about to sneeze? I was like, it's going to come. Chatsports.com/RR shop if you're trying to get any of our Raiders Report gear. If you want the hat that I got, it's right there. If you want to see Jeremy as a model, go to chatsports.com/RR shop. Scroll over the Raiders Report hat. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's AI, but I need more Jeremy Chugs as a model in my life. Hoodie, T-shirt, we got all sorts of gear. The reason why I'm showing this gear this late in this show is because I know you're a real one if you made it this far in this video. So seriously, let's continue to grow this awesome community that we have. And if you ever see anybody rocking Raiders Report gear, go up and say hi to them. Go up and introduce yourself. Who knows? You might run into a Raider Ron. You might run into a Yoda Jenkins. You might run into a Bayou Raider. Let's keep on growing this awesome community because Raider Nation is family to me. So my top 5 free agent corners for the Las Vegas Raiders. Number 1, Riq Woolen. Number 2, Jamel Dean. Number 3, Eric Stokes. Number 4, Jaylen Watson. And at number 5, Rasul Douglas. But guess what? This show is all DBs. Number 1 is Jaylin Hawkins, followed by Bryan Cook, Kamren Curl, Kevin Byard, Coby Bryant. If I missed any names from the corner or free agent spot, free safety spot, please let me know those names down below.